welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a simple dress for this one. I'm making for a 5 years old, and for that you're going to be needing your fabric and tape with a piece of elastic. So this is going to be a very short video. So what I've done here is I've cut 2 pieces of fabric, like 2 pieces here, folded on itself. And then you can also use this for a 5 years old and also a 6 years old too. So the width I'm working with here is about 10 inches, because I'm not working with the width of their body. I'm working with, because it's supposed to be flare at the bottom. So anywhere from 5 inches would do, for 10 inches would do for the width. So 10 inches by 4 here, so 10 inches here, and then also 10 inches on this other one. So one is my back panel and one is my front panel. So the next thing I'm going to do is to place each of them on itself. And then the next thing I did here is to also check the shoulder to the length of the dress. So for me, I want the length of the dress to be about 22 inches. So what I did here is, because there's supposed to be ruffle at the bottom, so the top part before the ruffle comes in is going to be 17 inches of length, and then I added extra 1 inch for seam allowance, half an inch for attaching the bottom and half an inch for attaching the top. So that's why I have 18 inches here. So when I remove the 1 inch, I'm going to be left with 17. So the next thing you're going to do now is to go to this side here, subtract come down by about 0.75. That is not up to 1 inch. 0.75 here by the shoulder. This is going to be your neckline, and then by the neckline you're going to come in by about 2.5, and then come down by about maybe 3.5 inches down. Then connect the two, mark your round neck, and then also come down by about 1 inch for the back, right? So this is going to be the back neckline here. I'm drawing everything on the front neckline, and then from here you connect these 2 lines together. Connect these 2 lines together. The next thing you're going to do is, at this point here, you come down by, it depends on how open you want the armhole to be. So for me, I want it a little bit open, so it will be free on her. So I'm going to come down by about 6.5 inches down here. And then the next thing you're going to do is, on this line that you came down by, what you can also do is, if it's for a smaller child, maybe for a 3 years old, you might come down by about 5.5, or if it's like a 4 years old, you can also use the same 6.5, so it can be free on them. So the next thing I'm going to do is to come in here by about 2 inches, and then from these 2 inches, just try to blend in your line this way. Like, try to mark it down all the way, like an angle, this way, all the way to the end. Just blend it in this way. So you have like a 7 this way, 2 inches in, and then you mark it down this way. And then you give it like a curve here. So that's basically it for this dress. I'm done marking everything. So now I'm going into cutting it. So the first thing I'm going to start with is to cut out the neckline. Let me move it over this way so it's easier for me. So the first thing I'm going to do is to cut out the neckline. You see, I'm cutting the 2 necklines at the same time. So this one is for the back neckline. The next thing is to cut out this part here, the shoulder slant that I made here. Then the next thing is to just cut out here. If you're trying to make it for a 4 years old, you can also use the same width of fabric, which is 10, or you can also use about 9 or 9.5 for a 4 years old and a 3 years old. That's the width here. 9.5 is also okay, just so that you will have enough, because remember, I'll still put I'm still going to sew elastic down here. So when I sew it down, I have this puffy part at the top and puffy at the bottom. So after cutting out this, what I'm going to do now is to separate the 2. So my back neckline, my back and the front. So when I separate it, I'm going to cut out the neckline in front here. So here, that's basically it. This is the front of the dress, and then at the back of the dress, what I'm going to do next is to make a slit here, because I'm going to have a button at the back. Let me move this so you can see. Maybe come down by about 4 inches here, open it up here, and then this is going to be the back of the dress, and then this is going to be the front of the dress. So what I'm going to do next now is to, so what I did here is to cut like a piece of fabric here, this square, just enough to cover up this space here. Cut it out. So what I'm going to do now is to place this here. I'm going to place this here, right? Place it right side facing each other. This is the right side of this piece here. This is the right side of my fabric. Place it on itself and then make a stitch here. So I'm going to make a stitch all the way here. And then like make a stitch all the way around here and come back up. And then after that, I'm going to cut this open and flip it inside. So the next thing I'm also going to do is to cut out the bottom of the dress. So I want, after this here, 17 inches at the top. For the top of this dress is 18 at the moment, but remember there's 1 inch here for seam allowance for the top, half an inch for the bottom, half an inch at the top. So the next thing I'm going to cut is the part I'm going to use as my flay, which is going to be this one here. So what you're going to do is so I need almost 5 inches to complete the 17 to make it 22, right? I want 22 to be my full length, so 5 inches is what I need. But what I cut here for my width is about 6.5, 1 inch for folding the end. This time around I need 1 inch to fold the end this way, right? And then half an inch to attach this bottom to this part here. So that's what I cut here. So I have 6.5 here as this here. So I cut as much as I would need. I cut about 3 times the end of my dress, right? I have 1, I have 2, and then I have 3. 3 times the end of this dress here. So what I'm going to do is to join, because I cut this way because my fabric is not enough. I'm trying to manage the fabric, but if you have enough fabric, then you don't have to do this. You might just cut it one whole line, you don't have to join. So I'm going to go ahead and join the 3 together, fold the end, and then attach it to the bottom of this dress. So guys, I'm cutting it open now. So this is what it looks like. I've sewed the end the way I showed you guys. So this is the next step here. Cut it open this way. So the next thing now is to flip this in. So this is how you're going to finish the back here. Flip this in this way and then make a stitch all the way on top. So guys, after that, the next thing you're going to do is to close up the shoulder, right? As you can see, I left one shoulder open so I can show you guys. I've folded this after flipping this out. So the next thing you're going to do is you take the shoulder, right? The right side facing each other. So this is the wrong side of the fabric. So this is the wrong side here. So this is the back that we just finished up. So what you're going to do is to take the shoulder, join it together, right? I've joined this side. So I also need to join on this side too, right? Join the shoulder on this side. After joining this side, you see, immediately after joining it, what you're going to do is to fold it, right? So you see, I joined this one here. After joining it, I just flip this, folded the sleeve and closed the side, right? So you fold this on itself, right? Fold it 1 and then fold it 2 and then close it. By then you've also joined the shoulder, so you close it up here and then close up the armhole and finish up the side. And I've also attached the getter at the bottom. So all I did was just to place the fabric on itself. For the getter part, the part I'm going to pleat, I just placed it on this here. As you can see, this is how I did it. Just placed it and just kept pleating until, like, if you want, you can use getter, just getter it until the end, the other end. And then, so you see, I left one shoulder open so that when I finish the shoulder, I can close it up from here and finish up the end, all the way to the end. So after that, the next thing I'm going to do is to get a piece of bias and also finish up the neckline. So finish up the neckline. I'll show you the one I've already done. So this one here, I made for a newborn. The same style, the same everything. So you see, I used a bias to finish up the neck. So this is a bias here. So and then when you finish, you give it like a loop for the button. So I'm going to put in button on one side. So you see what this looks like. So I'm also going to go back, because this is for two sisters. One is 5 years old and one is about a month or two. So this here, I'm going to also, you see how I finished the elastic here? So all you have to do is to cut the amount of elastic you might need, maybe about 21 inches of elastic. I'm using the tiniest elastic I could find. So it's not even up to half an inch. So what I did is just to take it here. So guys, this is the one I'm making here. This is the one that I've already made. So what I'm going to do now is the elastic I talked about, you might just need about, it depends on the waist of the child or just below their chest. Measure them how much elastic you're going to need. And then you just start from one end and then just pull the elastic all the way. Just pull it as you're sewing. I'm going to show you guys on the sewing machine. So that's how I was able to get this here. So as you can see what this one looks like here. So guys, I've closed the shoulder that I talked about. So this is the one that I showed you before. This is the second shoulder. I've closed it now. So what I'm going to do is to fold the sleeve this way now and sew. 8.5 from the shoulder. 8.5 from the shoulder. So this is where I marked all the way so that when I'm sewing I don't confuse. So I marked a line here and I also marked a line at the back so that I can keep my hands straight. So the next thing I'm going to do is to take this elastic and start sewing it. So what I was saying is you hold it down this way on this side, right? And then you pull it and then you keep sewing on it so that after sewing on it, you gather the dress. So guys, this is the dress here. It's done. This is the elastic at the waist. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, share and subscribe. Bye.